So we are down here in South Texas still for America's List. Got the Fireball Camaro here, and Ryan had some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen happen to you in a race car last night.
About midway through the run, it sounded like somebody threw a grenade in there, pulled the pin, threw a grenade, and it was boom, and just an explosion. And I, you know, initially, the car quit going, so I knew that it was rear end, drive shaft, something related. Transmission, I wasn't sure what, but shortly thereafter, I kind of look over and you can see shit flying around, debris, and then the drive shaft shoots out of the front of the transmission tunnel. It breaks the containment tube. It just broke everything. So, long story short, we broke a drive shaft and didn't really know why. It seemed like it came out of nowhere, but it tore up so much stuff on the way. It broke the containment tube off of the upper frame rail bars. It broke of course, the containment tube, of course, the drive shaft. It shoved the yoke into the transmission and buried it in the tranny. It went, something tried to exit, or did exit, through the rocker panel. So it went through the carbon floor, through the metal rocker panel, out the side. That's just one thing. Then we've got the bar up here. Something, it bit that whole bar is going to have to be replaced at some point, like when we get back home or whatever. I mean, so basically the U-joint exploded, caps started flying everywhere. Thank God they didn't hit me, you know, but it tore up the car from front to back. So
there's a hole in your roof.
There's a hole in the roof, yeah. And a bunch of awesome little outdents from things flying through. Awesome. Yeah, really cool. So, you know, not only did we get the L on that, but we also got a whole bunch of parts to replace as well. Turns out, what we found out today is that the rear end broke. Something happened, probably the pinion gear broke or something. When it did, it probably zinged the drive shaft and the front pinion. Usually the bearing gets out around and it starts wobbling. When it wobbles, the drive shaft can't handle that and just kablow, and then everything else follows. So I'm really thankful that I didn't get any hurt at all, really. I mean, pretty much unscratched for the most part, but the car took the whole beating. So today, these nice guys this is Rhino Collision, isn't it? Yeah. I think we're at Rhino Collision. Yeah. The nice guys at Rhino Collision. Where? What?
Ignite Motorsports.
Ignite Motorsports. Yeah, Rhino Collision, Ignite Motorsports let us use their shop today.
It's cold outside.
Yeah, so we're in South Texas because it's supposed to be nice, and it's 20 outside. So that being said, they let us use their shop because we don't have a garage at the house that we're staying in. And Jeff's over there fixing his car, trying to get his car right. We got a whole bunch of work to do on this. We're going to replace the rear end tonight, the transmission tonight. We have a drive shaft. I had to overnight a yoke, and we got a race tomorrow. So hopefully, you know, who knows if UPS is going to come through or not. If so, we'll be able to be good to race tomorrow. If not, we may have to give up a few spots until we get it fixed. I don't know what's going to happen. So for now, we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Show you guys a little of what he's talking about. Look how beat up. That's the transmission tunnel. The front yoke just did a number on it. Drive shaft is now a two-piece. Busted the yoke all up. Everything's just in a mess here. I showed you the hole in the rocker there. You can see the hole in the roof. Hobby's under here getting transmission out because it got the transmission also. So they got a little bit of work ahead of them here.
Just whatever happened. I mean, the gears are probably fucked now, but oh yeah, but whatever happened, yeah, the junk.
So it seems like you found your culprit here.
Yeah. So this caused all of it. We just don't know. We don't know why. So
spit this out for some reason.
So that should be stationary. It's the cap bolts are still tight, and I guess somehow, some way,
that right there threads in, and then there's set screws inside it.
So it had to have just the threads. So it had to just work this piece out.
Yes. Like the set screw had to have come loose, and then it backed itself out.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Y'all already dollied the truck down, didn't you?
Which
we can do whatever you need us to do.
And it really is just right around. It's just right there by our in case a couple boxes.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Oh, I have some. I can go get some.
Yeah, there's so much metal on that thing too.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to. I guess we just start hosing it to the inside.
Yeah, and then I'll take the cap back off of it.
Yeah. Okay. Sheesh. Yeah. So, long story short, all the side load stuff threaded its way out or something, and must have fell out during the pass. And then what happens there at that point in time is it allows this to have enough room, slot between the two, to where this will spin and it won't even move this. So then it tears up the bearing, then it zings the drive shaft to the moon, and the drive shaft cannot take that because it's not made to do that.
Oh yeah, right there it is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that if you pulled that pinion apart right now, there wouldn't really be any gears left on it.
Probably not.
I'll bet the teeth are gone on the pinion.
That's crazy. Yeah, regardless. But
a new one.
that's garbage. So that sucks. How many runs around that? Not very many. We put it in.
60, I bet 60.
Yeah.
60 to.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but that's not even the gears that failed, you know?
No.
But that caused a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm willing to bet you can't use anything except that spool.
Dude, the damage inside this car is crazy. Like that hole in the rocker and the hole in the roof,
It puts things in perspective of, you know, we lose sight sometimes of the safety part of this, but it reminds me when stuff like this happens, sometimes you need to build things better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that this is industry standard. Everything was fine. The way everything was built is the way every other car I've got's built and everything. But sometimes when you have a failure, you go, hey, when that breaks, that might not quite be enough.
It definitely makes you think.
Yeah. Like, should the containment tube been in a thicker wall? Should the loop been centered over the U-joint?
And made up with the transmission a little bit further.
Yeah.
Because the one in my MPK car, I can watch the whole U-joint spin.
Right.
The newly built car that DMC just did, it covers all the way to the back of the transmission. Yeah. But still, look how bad it beat it up.
I know. Well, it opened it like a tin can. So the problem is, here's what I see. Here's some things that I noticed. Jeff kind of helped point some things to me, but basically, this thing stands up here like this. Well, let's say this goes out here. Well, this is all peeled up like a tin can. Yeah. So here's where everything exited, right through here. So it's like this loop probably should be centered over the U-joint. That's how Jeff said he does his. But that being said, also maybe this part forward out of like a thicker material or something.
Yeah, this definitely saved this from coming back any further. Yeah. But it already had enough to escape.
Yeah.
So
right.
just think if that would, I get it, the U-joint's up here.
Yeah.
But just think it was back here where this isn't.
Yeah, right.
It would have came through this no problem.
Yeah, it would have. Now that being said, the drive shaft broke somewhere around here.
Yeah.
And inside here, I really feel like
it just sweeps it.
It did its job. Yeah, it did its job as far as containing the drive shaft. But in the front, when the caps, so when this part blew up, right here, that's when everything went haywire.
Yeah.
And what happens is when this let go, this was still hooked to the transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's broken. And this started slinging parts out of it.
Race cars are scary, dangerous, yo.
Like I said, that could have went
up
in his helmet and killed him.
Yeah.
That's ugly shit.
I'm very fortunate in this accident. I will 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, that deal's
scary shit.
This is all bigger than the stuff I run anyways. I run 1350 U-joints in all mine. This is what, 1480?
Yeah, 1480, but that being said, it looks like it all breaks the same.
It does.
If you have a problem like that, a 1350 or 1480 is not going to matter.
Well, that 1480 is going to go through more shit.
It will. My rocker arm, my rocker panel.
Hey, you know what I found out about the 1480?
What?
You're more than likely not going to borrow something off somebody because they owe that 1350.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big stuff.
It is. I've never broken one of those.
No.
But that being said,
yeah.
I have now. But
there you go.
I've never broken one because of it failed. You know what I'm saying?
Think of how many runs you have.
Yeah. No, hey, it don't owe me nothing. All this stuff, I'm not complaining about one single part on this car.
Unless you didn't have no legs.
If I didn't have any brakes, I'd be a little. If I didn't have any legs, I'd be a little more mad about it.
A little bit. Yeah. Different story for sure.
I'd be a little bitter towards drag racing. I said, you know, half the time you don't want anything else to talk you out of drag racing, and then something like this happens. When you go, hey man, what we do is dangerous, you know? Like, is it, you know, you see, like what happened to JJ while we were all sitting there, and that happened. It kind of puts you go,
Hey,
huh?
and just to clarify, you've seen JJ, he's wearing gloves and pants now.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
he's a new man. A fire and a wreck will do that to you.
Yes.
And I don't want to know the hard way, so.
No. That's crazy.
But, yeah, we could tear some shit up, I know that much.
Oh, that's crazy.
But we're gonna have it fixed for tomorrow.
So I guess luckily you carry a whole bunch of spare parts with you.
Well, yeah, look, we've been doing this long enough. We've broken rear ends, we've broken drive shafts, we've broken transmissions, and when you break all that stuff, when we're out here in the middle of nowhere filming, you start scrambling, right? So what would you guys do? If you didn't have something,
I mean, we'd come ask you.
or you'd overnight, right? And so, and I've been there and I've done that exact same thing. So I try to pride myself in going like for instance, we'll get home, we'll re-inventory the trailer and go, okay, we use the third member, we use the drive shaft, and I'll order up more parts. It's always been good, but this time we have a third member, which is great. We have a tranny, which is great. We got a drive shaft with no yoke, and nobody's got yokes.
Oh,
so I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and get the third member in it. We're gonna get the transmission in it. We have to race tomorrow, and I've got an APB out to everybody here local to try to find a yoke. I've overnighted one, but with shipping the way it is right now, there's no telling.
So I guess one of the problems you're having with finding a yoke is you actually run the bigger style yoke, where most of us, like, you know, in the Murder Nova, it's got a 1350.
It's got 1350. So we try to keep most of our stuff the same. So my transmission in this car is the same as the transmission in the gray car, and so is the rear end and a lot of stuff. So because of that, whenever I built the gray car, we wanted, you know, we were building max effort, right? So let's build it with a 1480. So some point along the line, I said, hey, let's upgrade the 1350 yokes to 1480 stuff so that our third members are identical. Everything goes in the same, and that's what we did. So we did it in an effort to try to share parts for both cars, but the motor location is not the same in both cars, so the drive shaft's different. So, well, right now in my stacker for MPK is all the parts for the gray car, which has the drive shaft with the right yoke, which is the wrong length. And it's at home instead of here. So, you know, look, you can't ever have everything. It just is what it is, you know? You know, we travel, you know how it is. We got stackers and stupid shit that we have traveling to go to MPK. But with this deal, you can't take all that. You know, we go to a street race. We all think it's stupid to pull up to a street race with stackers and trailers. So we take our smaller stuff to make it look like a street race, right?
We just make it hard on ourselves.
Yeah, and right. And what we're doing is we're making it hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys have their stackers and stuff that they're bringing out to race night, but they have every single thing that they race with there. We do not.
Right.
And you're right, it just makes it harder on ourselves. You know, I told you think it's a good idea once you get home and you don't need any spare parts. You're like, yeah, see, I didn't need all this stuff. But now here we are, and I don't have half my stuff.
Right.
It's back at home 10 hours away. You can't overnight it. You can't get it here fast enough, you know? So
luckily, I guess the racing community is so tight that, like you said, you've got plenty of calls in. You're going to find something eventually.
I feel pretty good about it. I'm a little nervous with our, you know, with having faith in UPS and FedEx.
It's rough down here.
Yeah. And so I've overnighted a yoke from two places, one UPS, one FedEx, to 2 different locations. Surely we'll get one of those, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But if I don't, that will keep me from racing tomorrow. And then I'll drop a few spots.
Yeah, that would suck.
Which would suck, but it is what it is. So, I don't know, I just keep finding stuff though. Like the shifter mounts tore up on the bottom. And so I just called Mickey trying to get a couple of pieces for the shifter mount. It broke the solenoid off the side. So, I mean, I'll be glad to get this car started back up, because then I'll know we're done finding broke parts.
Right.
Because right now, every time I turn a corner, I find something else that's broken. Ugh. But so far, we got the rear end cleaned out, the old one's out, the new one's ready to put in. I'm getting ready to put it in. Javi's working on the transmission. I think Sean's getting ready to lay on his back and help me push this thing in here. So we will keep you guys updated, but so far, we're moving right along. A whole lot of shrapnel. put stuff down?
Man, hey, they've got quite a bit of stuff going on with this deal.
Yeah. It's like, this is the whole, what do you decide to do first? Like, you're fucked from front to back. And where do you start? Do you start at the rear end and move forward? Like
they're literally replacing everything from the firewall back.
Yeah.
You got that off?
He's holding it on his leg right now.
This is for the strong guys that work out, not the fat ass like me.
Look at you, for him to get in there.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it facing the right way yet?
There we go. Ready? Right?
Oh, I'm good, but I'm
Here, almost. Oh, I'm about to hit myself. Alright. I think we need to go on the bottom. We need to.
I'm sure this is like, I feel like one of the studs is bent
Probably.
from the impact, probably.
It feel like we're real up high, like it's farther in than the
Because
bottom.
the lube locker did not go on real easy.
No, it never does. Or rubber mallet.
Yeah, hang on.
Sure, I'll go.
Okay. Get on. Get this difficult one.
Oh yeah, go ahead and get that one first. All right, let me get.
Tell me when.
Hey, let me get under
Keep
there.
going until you touch it.
Ah,
No, you're good. Go ahead and go up. Yeah.
Good, Javi?
Yeah.
Go up. Okay.
That nut. See it, bro?
Okay.
Oh,
Frame rail's got it.
Almost
Ready for me to
centered
come
that
in?
on the jack. Hold on,
no,
hold
we
on,
need to go back some more. We need to
Pull,
roll it.
Sean, pull the jack.
Pull it.
Yeah.
Pull the jack.
Okay, right there.
One more.
A little more.
Yep, right.
All right, come
good.
down,
Okay, slow.
Coming down.
and then start getting ready to pull it towards yourself.
Okay.
Pull it towards yourself.
Not too now. That's good. That's good.
That's a nice take fit, isn't it? Well, we just fired up okay.
Yeah, we can. We can.
Let's hear the motor.
Okay, what y'all think?
While we're at it. Yeah.
This next part.
Jeff, did you say it was almost
Hang on. Somebody
that
should pull
side,
this out if somebody leans over like Ryan does and helps him lift that.
Okay.
Who's gonna work
Tell me
that?
when and I'll pull it out.
Yeah. Ah, damn.
Good job, guys.
I didn't know my own strength.
I feel like you did all that, Jeff. Good
Man.
job. Except for us talking about, I can't believe we fixed all this without Petty being here. He'd leave that part in.
So I said, why don't we fire it up?
I'm just playing, Richard.
I think we can. Can we?
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it fucking even hit that.
They got your USB
Got my damn
cable?
USB cord.
Damn.
It literally touched everything in the car.
Man, you can't ever have anything nice. That is a mess.
It touched Ryan inappropriately.
Touched my hey, it touched my fucking pocketbook inappropriately.
Yeah.
What's up? Shakedown.
Shallow 9/16 up there.
There's something here. 916 shallow, yes sir.
Okay, thank you.
Are you taking the balancing off?
Yeah.
Take the car and roll out.
Yeah, they're not the same. That's a lockup somewhere. Don't worry about that.
We knew you locked this thing up.
Yep.
We don't lock
Well, we locked the rear end up. I think that's what that does.
This son of a bitch has a harness on it. You must have left that harness in the car, so this probably needs to come off.
Yeah, that goes. That's for when for your gray car. Your gray car has like standalone harness on the
So I'm gonna pull this harness off.
Yes. What on that? On the jump on the
Oh, yeah,
passenger
no, it's
side?
just on the other side.
Okay, is that the same?
It is.
For shoulders?
Yep.
Let's see.
It is.
Color's the same spot. Yep. Okay, I think we're good.
What is this?
It is.
It just looks like a ground, maybe.
Right there.
Yep.
Same.
Yep. What is that?
Same.
Same.
It's a dump solenoid. I think we're good.
That looks pretty close.
Good.
Yeah, they're the same but different.
All good.
Good.
I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh.
Do you want to lift it and I'll just slide it in from back out here?
I don't think we can because it'll be too tall on the jack. Maybe. You think it will go?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
Not on that rocker panel. There you go. Now it will.
Oh, fuck that goddamn rocker panel. Did you see it?
Yeah, did you see what Ryan did to it?
I saw what Ryan did to the bottom of that fucking transmission panel just now.
That's what those are.
You don't
for.
really see it much from the bottom.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, is there a shim on the front of that?
Chim.
Shim on the tranny?
Chim.
No.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. Crazy.
No shim in it.
Jeff's had a shim on it whenever
Yep.
I swapped it, remember?
Yep, we took it off, threw it away.
Talking about threw it away.
Ross put it on there so you
You
don't.
better check that out because he probably didn't get it back.
No, I did. I kept my eye on it.
Yeah.
Anybody talk to Daly today?
No.
Daly called me a couple times.
Set the world on fire.
Oh yeah, I think I talked to him.
Oh, what? You go super fast today?
Did I talk to him?
You go 390 today?
Yeah,
Remember he
as
called
we were
and I
pulling
missed it?
out. No, as we were pulling
When I
out, you were
called him
talking
back?
to him.
What was he up to?
He didn't say nothing. He bragged about getting some pussy today or something.
Oh, his wife's here?
Yep.
Good for him. That's nice. I'm jealous.
Yeah, me too. That's what I said.
Beat that rocker panel back in.
I was thinking about beating that hole shut in the roof. Little hammer and dolly, we could straighten.
They said,
it out.
hey, you want to fix that?
But,
No, they want to paint it, everything. I was like, I don't know if we got time, maybe. Sure, to fix this needs some work over here.
hey, while you're at it,
Yeah.
I've got a
But
68.
so what do they got to do?
If Jeff
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Please fuck that wood right up.
Yeah. What? Because
Hit the center?
y'all's not lifting it up. Y'all
Well, we're trying there.
Alright, man, you guys got to lift
Hit
it
him
up
in
one
the
more time.
fucking nuts. Up one more time?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Sean's jack. What?
Alright.
That ain't the center,
That's
is it?
not centered at all.
Yeah, but I had to
What are you,
slip the
fucking
plug off
cross-eyed?
the jack.
I'm gonna come up a little.
Pull your way.
Okay, lift up.
Yep, good.
I'll pull my way.
Yep. Okay. Now actually pull the jack with the tranny your way.
With the jack?
Yes,
there you
yes. Okay, come on up.
COVID.
COVID underneath there, spreading it all over the place.
Fucking,
Hey,
it's
today Sean
raising.
goes, man, I got my headache back. I said, here it comes round 2.
Yep.
That's it.
Hold it, hold it.
little.
I'm trying to balance it.
Coming this way a little.
I see it. I see it. No, hang on.
Come up.
Okay.
Yes, up. Oh, me.
Tell me when.
That wasn't him.
Yeah, he just did it. Damn.
Keep going.
Love those studs.
Push it towards me.
Towards you?
Yeah, there you go, now go up.
Now pull it towards you, Sean.
Okay. I just pushed it towards
I
you.
know.
It was
Keep
pretty
going.
cool. I'm like lining up the bottom studs where we're going to stab it.
Why is this so flat though?
Alright, stop.
Nah, keep
No,
going.
we'll keep going up.
Alright, it's
That should be it right there.
Boom. Good job,
Lower
guys.
down.
Man.
Hey, there's nuts right here.
That's 4 of us. We got that deal.
Yeah.
The other one should be 2. They normally take the air out of it to get it off.
You all right, Javi?
Oh, man.
I just don't like you coughing up at me.
Yeah.
Whoa,
You know what I mean?
what happened there?
I don't know.
My light died under here.
That thing kicks.
Your light probably got COVID.
No.
They're coughing on that deal.
Coughing on it.
Make it get better.
Charger. I gotta try to put some of these
So cleanup is usually a good sign in our camp that you're kind of close to done, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, you know, I would say more like done for the night,
oh, okay.
more than done completely. But we do have the rear end's all back together, the transmission's all back together. So new third member installed, all the bolts are tight. New transmission installed, all the bolts are tight. Converter bolts are good. So
You just need the part to connect everything.
we just need that piece in the middle, the
Yep.
handy dandy drive shaft, which we have. We just don't have the yoke. So again, back on We're really leaning on UPS and FedEx here. Hopefully they show up like they're supposed to. But providing that happens tomorrow, we're going to come back tomorrow with hopefully the part, put that in the car, and then I'm going to cut the end of that off for Jeff, and then I'm going to let Jeff get after it and extend the front of that out, and then weld all my shit that's broke.
Yeah.
We called up TMS Titanium, and they sent us all the replacement pieces for these that'll be here tomorrow. So we have some tubing coming. Our theory here is we're going to cut this all the way around, and we've got some like 4.5 inch, basically a 4.5 by 36 piece that Jeff's going to roll and then weld back up to this to go back over the top of the training tunnel. Make all the mounts back where they're supposed to be again. The shifter used to mount right there. As we can see, that's broke off. So he's going to weld all this stuff. So he's going to fix this thing tomorrow. So once this is fixed, the drive shaft's in it, I think we'll be good to go. Now, the one thing we don't know, I hate to even say it, I've had to say it a couple times, we're getting ready to start this thing for the first time since all this has happened. So hopefully zinging the motor like that didn't hurt anything. We're going to find out here in a minute. So we're going to fire it up, make sure the motor sounds okay. If it does, I think we're going to be in good shape.
It's up to you.
We probably will.
Any what? Yeah.
Yeah. When that shifter probably went all.
Oh.
Yeah, you hadn't said anything.
Totally did. I forgot about that. When I was shutting down, it was going. Is it just because it dumped the?
It just took it ripped the airline off the shifter.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he didn't say nothing about that, but I'm guaranteed that.
Dad, I'm dead.
Reports seem to hurt it.
Nothing can stop my
A little bit. Shit stinks going in. Your training fluid stinks. I said, I know, man. It stinks going in. Don't worry.
Got the little primer pump here. Runs all the way over there and then comes into here and just primes everything. Like, deal just works.
Yep. It just does.
Everywhere.
This ain't that bad of an idea. I'd be totally fine with this, but you got to remember,
I just have to go in between the header seats. How big are these throttle bodies?
I don't know the size.
Two little ones, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Relatively. They're, if I was to guess, about a 3-inch pipe. 2-3-inch ones. It's pretty close to what I think it is. You know, it's funny, you think we come here, oh man, we're only going to race for 14 nights. And normally that's a season for us. And we're doing it all in fucking 2.5, 3 weeks. And by the time we get done, it looks like you've raced your car for a season.
Yeah.
Especially when you do shit like I did.
Yeah, but it's not like that was something that Javi overlooked.
Oh, no.
Or, you know what I mean?
It ain't nobody's
Like,
fault. It's just fucking
It's
something.
just fucking crazy that happened.
Yo.
I was finding little Easter eggs here everywhere. Just spotted this
Yeah.
in the firewall. There's a little Audi there.
I see a little glimmer of a dent over there. Hard to keep these things nice when you do stuff like that. Because like to fix that back, you got to pull the motor, and I've got to unbolt the halves of the two halves of the firewall, and just like I'm glad for the time where I can go, oh yeah, I think we found everything. And I feel like for the next couple of weeks I'm gonna find little things here and there.
Yeah, but it could be little things that you find after you get out of the shower and stuff at night on you.
For real. I just want to hear this thing start up and sound okay, and then I'll feel better. Now, I totally did shut it off. I remember that. Like, I shut it off and sounded good. Yeah, I know. Bad thing is sometimes you don't know what you
No, I've shut mine off a bunch and thought, that's good.
And that's not been the
At
case.
that time in Ohio?
Yeah, a bunch of times. I fired mine up and cooled it off and got it ready and everything for the next round with a kicked rod before.
The very first appearance we did with y'all in, was it Alabama?
Kentucky?
No, it wasn't Kentucky.
I remember something happened to you guys at the Ozarks at Larry Jeffers' track.
That was OG. That was after we'd already blown the small block up and had to bring the OG back out.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Both cars, you fucked both cars up on that little one we did?
Multiple.
Well, that's because we used to think that we raced.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And neither car was ready
Yeah.
at all. And either one of them was even close to what they are now.
Yeah.
We came a long ways in a little time.
No doubt.
Just waiting for the battery.
It's got the engine, how many runs on the motor, and then it says maybe.
That was the first. It was either 5 or 6.
4, maybe.
How many is that? I don't know. It's maybe.
Yeah. It should be ish after it.
Those guys.
That's the pin to this. I was trying to get this off. But
Yeah.
Come on, battery.
You never start yours with it on?
Try not to. It happens.
Sometimes.
It happens.
You do.
I know it's probably not a good idea, but I do.
Fuel tech guys actually say it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, they
Now
don't.
the battery guys.
That's one of those deals that I don't usually ask, just because I don't want to really maybe know if it's going to hurt something because I've done it so much.
What's that?
Hold on one second.
That is a primer pump.
That is a
You guys should
loud,
get one of those.
loud primer
Yeah,
pump.
it's in park, right?
One of our cars is going to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it needs to be in park. For
It's
sure.
in park.
You ain't stopping that deal.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. We're at least
My
safe.
ears are nearly ringing. Oh, look what it did!
We should be able to sleep tonight now.
It knocked down the panel piece. The panel
So, man, you guys got this thing all patched up.
Patched is a good term. Yeah, no, we got the third member finished. We got the transmission finished. Jeff and Jeffrey came in, and like if you look right here, man, you can't even tell. Like, look at that. Like the transmission tunnel was destroyed, and you can't even tell. They took the back side of the transmission tunnel, massaged it, cut the front of it off, re-welded the titanium to the front, and then made a new hoop to protect, to put more strength there if it happens again.
Right.
So that hoop goes directly around the U-joint itself. Not couldn't be any happier with that. So TMS came through clutch, man. Like, we needed material because the transmission tunnel is titanium, and made a phone call. It left an hour after I talked to him, made it here the next morning.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I know this sounds ridiculous, but with UPS and FedEx as crazy as shipping been, I'll give them a shout out because I got all my parts.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be able to make it to race night if I didn't get everything. But Proline had a yoke. Mark Mickey had to send me a shifter base and a solenoid, and he actually had a yoke too. I double ordered the yoke because I was afraid of shipping. So, but Proline's yoke got here, Mark Mickey's yoke got here, everybody's parts made it. That's the only way we made it happen. So thanks to all those guys just for dropping everything they're doing and shipping parts out for me. Jeff and Jeff Jr., you guys are bad mofos. Like
the Jeffs.
Hey, the Jeffs. If I couldn't, for real, I mean, I wouldn't have made race night if it wasn't for y'all. So I really appreciate you guys.
I know you do.
From the bottom of our heart, I appreciate it.
Part of it.
But we got it done.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Mike Bennett, Ignite. We're at Ignite Performance, right? Ignite Motorsports. They gave us a shot for 2 days. We couldn't have done it without those guys. Juan, Mike, Jeff going running around, bending tubes and stuff like that. I mean, we couldn't have done it without everybody. So man, it's cool. Javi, obviously, as always, just doing what he just does normally. Sometimes you forget that he's just doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but we can't do it without him either. So the fact of the matter that it's all together was a huge group effort between everybody, and we're gonna make our race night. So everything's good in the long term. We still gotta let go of the button. You know, after you do stuff like this, you still want to go and make sure that everything's good. This has a totally different transmission, a totally different rear end, totally different drive shaft. A lot of times if you put those parts in, sometimes you can have little bugs. We're gonna try to find somewhere on the street, wherever we can, to let go of the button and just make sure everything stays together for the first hit before I go try to take our #1 spot back.
So, pretty much from the firewall back, you replaced everything. So
from the firewall back,
it wouldn't be smart to just go out and.
No.
I mean, you'd do it if you had to.
If we got to, we will do it. But no, the smart thing is go and see, like, you know, I'm just gonna say it like it is. We use a specific third member when we compete, and this is my backup. It's a backup for a reason. It's just not quite as good as the one that we got in there, you know. So we just want to let go of the button and just make sure everything seems to be okay. I think Jeff's the same spot. He redid a whole bunch of motor stuff in the last couple days. So we're both trying to think of where can we go to go make a hit. It's wet out right now. It's 40 degrees.
It is so cold.
It is not the ideal conditions, but if I can, I don't care if it smokes the tires. If I can let go of the button and it smokes the tires for a minute, at least I know everything stay together.
Yep.
I'll just say, if you're in the McAllen area and you need performance work done, hit up Ignite Motorsports. The guys here are badass. They're, man, I don't know. They treat us like family. They didn't have to do that. So if you're in the area and you need something done to your car, hit those dudes up. Body shop next door, Rhino Collision. Is that right? Rhino Collision. Those dudes are cool. They opened up their shop to us, and if we needed it. So I just want to give all those guys a shout out. And if you guys need help, collision work, go to them. I would if I was down here just because of how cool they are.
I definitely would have some work for them right now.
Yeah, well, he actually offered to fix it. He said, hey, man, if you got time, you can roll this in and I'll fix it. But, man, the roof's really beat up. We found a bunch of damage on the rocker. I don't know. We're just going to get through this. Firewall took a hit. Yeah, we forgot about that. It's got a new little Audi on the firewall in a couple spots. Right there and right here. Every time we look over it, we find something else. So I think we're just going to try to get through this. We got 6 race nights left. We're going to try to get through these 6 race nights. And then if I'm still here, I'm going to hit these guys up and have them fix it.
We're going into survival mode.
Survival mode. Sometimes you have to.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. And you know, this is never stuff, like you don't really think of this stuff. When we street race, you're not like, oh man, you're not really abusing it hard enough. But man, clearly that is not the case. So.
Physically.
Yeah. Also, I want to thank Quick Performance, because I had a rear end issue. It had a whole bunch of laps on it. It didn't owe me anything. It broke. I put my spare in. They knew I was using my spare, and I think they thrashed and put me and another third member together and overnighted it.
Oh yeah.
So those guys are always clutch, man. If we need something, they hook it up. You forget how many friends you have in the business who keep you going, what keeps you going until you have a problem, and everybody comes out of the woodwork and does what they do. So if there's anybody I've forgotten, I'm sorry. Like, I appreciate everybody for everything that they did to help me get back together. So.